win games, aren't we? That's the key, and it's all different competition now. It's all about winning, and you've got to win your next 3 games from the position we're in. We know we're capable of winning the competition.
I guess the goal is to get to that grand final and experience a win again. What's it like playing there at Old Trafford?
Yeah, I think it's the pinnacle for anyone's career. You played at internationals and that's brilliant, but to do it with your club is to get to them grand finals is what you work all year for. You go through a real tough season, play tons of games, and that's just to get in the playoffs. And once you're there, it starts all over again, and you've got to perform well in the playoff games. But when you do get there, and I've been there and lost it, it's an horrible place to be. But when you go there and get a result, we've been lucky enough to do the last few years. It's one of the best feelings in the world.
Yeah, we don't like to speak about injuries too much, but we've had some, catastrophic injuries this year. Johnny, Wilco, Walsh leader as well. So, we've had a lot of loss, but we're kicking on, and with the players who's come in, we've got such a good team, strength in depth. So there's no dramas there, and like I said, hopefully kick on this Friday and get a week off, hopefully get a few bodies back and roll on again.
I think it should be a pretty good game. 2 teams who like playing some good rugby, some open rugby as well. So we should see. We've got to handle their pack very well. We know how dominant they've probably got on paper the best pack in the competition. One of the best on the house from Roby off the back of us playing really well. So we know it's going to be a massive ask coming over here. It should be a pretty full house as well.
It's been, topsy-turvy all year, and Cass are a great team. You mentioned some of their players who are here today. They've got one of the best back lines in Super League, I think. So, we'll start off by stopping them, and the forwards have got some power as well. So, no doubt, this Friday it'll be an epic, not a derby as to speak, but the atmosphere will be crazy.
Yeah, regardless of what's at stake, when I was surprised how big the derbies are, Warrington and Widnes, they're pretty fierce, and the fans really do hate each other's clubs. So it's going to be an intense game, and one that there's quite a lot at stake too. So it should raise the stakes. I remember signing for the club and everyone saying how daft it was, and you're not going to play playoffs again and stuff like that. But the stuff that Steve O'Connor and Dennis told me when I met 2 years ago, it's happened, and I've been really proud to go on the journey with him as well. So it's been really good so far.
Proposition a Widnes going to be?
Yeah, very. We know that anyway. Obviously we beat them early on in the year, but they beat us at their place, so we know they've got dangers, and we just want to concentrate on ourselves and what we do.
The playoffs, the time of year, I guess, when the Rhinos notoriously come to life and excel. Do you see that being the case again this year?
I'd like to think so, yeah. I think it's a different type of rugby league played now, knockout rugby league, everything's on the line, and that brings pressure with it. And I think we've shown over the last few years we're capable of dealing with that kind of pressure and rising to the occasion. So we're going to fall back on that and use them values and use those memories from before, but we know we're in for an incredibly tough task to win it from 6. We want it to finish higher up the table, there's no doubt about that.
The last few weeks we show we can perform away from home. We can perform when we got the right attitude, and yeah, again we know tough one against Leeds, but I want to focus more on us than them, because they got. If you start thinking about too much about them, you will have a headache, because they we are pretty good in a lot of area.
And I know our league form's been sketchy, but if you look at our knockout competition form this year, we've been as good as anybody. Our last 2 games in knockout competition we've won, and that's effectively what we're in now.